Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were rushing to their prenup meeting when their car accident changed everything. But what they did for the elderly couple they hit will restore your faith in humanity. When a simple fender bender turned into a life-changing moment for two struggling strangers. The Monday afternoon of February 23, 2026, started with Taylor Swift gripping the steering wheel of Travis's Range Rover as they navigated through unexpectedly heavy traffic in downtown Kansas City. What should have been a straightforward 20-minute drive to Travis's family attorney's office had turned into a 45-minute ordeal that was making them both increasingly anxious.
"We're 30 minutes late already," Travis said, checking his phone while tapping his foot nervously.
"David's going to think we're not taking this seriously, and he leaves for vacation tomorrow. If we miss this meeting, we're looking at a 3-week delay on finalizing the prenup." "I know," Taylor replied, her usual calm showing cracks of stress as she navigated around a double-parked delivery truck. "I'm going as fast as I can without being reckless." The legal aspects of their wedding had become more complex than either had anticipated. Not because of relationship issues, but because of the intricate financial considerations that came with two high-profile careers and the kind of wealth management that required careful documentation. As they finally broke free from the worst congestion and began moving at normal speed through a residential area, both felt their stress levels decreasing.
"Thank God," Travis said, relaxing as they turned onto the street where David's office was located.
"We'll only be about 35 minutes late." Taylor smiled, pressing the accelerator to make up time on the clear road. "See, everything's going to be—" That's when it happened. A car pulled out from a side street without stopping, apparently not seeing the Range Rover approaching. Taylor slammed on the brakes and yanked the steering wheel right, but there wasn't enough time to avoid the collision entirely. The impact wasn't devastating, but it was enough to bring both vehicles to a complete stop with the sound of crunching metal and shattering glass. Taylor and Travis sat in stunned silence for a moment. "Are you okay?" Travis asked first, his voice shaky as he looked over at Taylor with concerned eyes. "I think so," Taylor replied, still gripping the wheel. "Are you hurt?"
"I'm fine, just shaken up," Travis said, carefully checking himself.
"We need to check on the other car. They might be hurt." Taylor nodded, and they both carefully got out, immediately walking toward the other vehicle. The car they'd collided with was an older Toyota Camry, and the damage to its front end looked more severe than the damage to the Range Rover. The driver's door opened slowly, and an elderly man in his 70s carefully climbed out, holding one hand to his forehead where a small trickle of blood was visible. "Oh my goodness, are you hurt?" Taylor asked immediately. "I think I'm okay," the man said shakily. "My head hit something when we stopped, but I don't think it's serious." The passenger door opened, and an elderly woman got out more slowly, moving like someone whose body had been jolted. "Harold, you're bleeding," she said with worry, reaching toward her husband's forehead. "It's just a small cut, Martha," Harold replied, trying to appear less hurt than he felt. "I'm more worried about our car. Are you hurt at all?" "I'm shaken up, but I think I'm okay," Martha said, though Taylor noticed she was holding her left wrist gingerly. Travis pulled out his phone. "I'm calling 911. We need to get everyone checked out by paramedics." "Wait," Harold said quickly, looking alarmed. "Is that really necessary? Nobody seems seriously hurt." Taylor looked more closely at Harold and Martha, noting their older but well-maintained clothing and the worried expression that had crossed Harold's face at the mention of paramedics. "Sir, you're bleeding from a head wound," Taylor said gently but firmly. "Even if it seems small, head injuries can be serious. And your wife might have hurt her wrist."
"The thing is," Martha said quietly, looking embarrassed,
"we don't have health insurance right now. Harold's been between jobs since his company downsized last month. An ambulance ride would cost us thousands of dollars we don't have." Travis and Taylor exchanged a look of understanding. This wasn't just about damaged vehicles. It was about people already struggling financially, who now faced medical bills they couldn't afford. "Please don't worry about the cost," Taylor said immediately. "If you need medical attention, we'll take care of all expenses. The most important thing is making sure you're both okay." Harold looked surprised. "That's very kind, miss, but we couldn't accept that. This was my fault. I didn't see you coming. We should be responsible for our own bills. Sir, fault doesn't matter when it comes to health and safety, Travis said. We're not worried about who was at fault. We're worried about making sure everyone is okay. Taylor walked around to examine the damage to Harold's car, and what she saw made her heart sink. The front end was significantly damaged, the headlight completely shattered, and fluid was leaking from underneath. Harold, she said carefully, I don't think your car is drivable. The damage looks extensive. Harold assessed the damage, and his face fell. Oh no, he said quietly, despair in his voice. That's our only car. Martha has a doctor's appointment tomorrow for her blood pressure medication follow-up, and I have a job interview Wednesday at a tutoring center. And our insurance, Martha began, then stopped, looking embarrassed. We only have liability coverage, Harold admitted. Full coverage was too expensive after I lost my job. That will cover damage to your vehicle, but not repairs to ours. Taylor felt her heart breaking as she realized the full scope of what this accident meant. They'd lost their only transportation and had no coverage to help replace it. How much would repairs cost? Taylor asked, though she suspected the damage exceeded the car's value. More than we can afford, Harold said simply. Probably more than the car is worth. Travis looked at his watch, realizing they'd missed their entire meeting with David. But looking at Harold's head wound and Martha's injured wrist, he knew their legal paperwork was the least important concern. Here's what we're going to do, Travis said. First, we're getting both of you checked out by paramedics, and we're handling medical costs. Second, we're figuring out your transportation needs. Third, we're making sure vehicle damage gets handled without any financial burden on you. That's incredibly generous, but we can't accept charity, Harold said, though his voice suggested he was touched. We've always paid our own way. Taylor looked at Harold and Martha with direct honesty. This isn't charity. This is two people making sure a difficult situation doesn't become a disaster. Harold, you mentioned a job interview. What kind of work? I'm a retired high school math teacher, Harold said. I taught for 35 years before retiring, and honestly, I miss it. I miss feeling useful, working with young people, helping them understand that math doesn't have to be scary. The interview Wednesday is at a tutoring center, just 15 hours a week, but it would help our budget and give me purpose again. Travis realized they weren't just dealing with accident consequences, but the potential disruption of two people's efforts to maintain health and stability during an already challenging period. Here's what I'm thinking, Travis said. We call paramedics to check you medically. I'll call my insurance about vehicle damage. If your car isn't repairable, we'll figure out transportation for tomorrow and Wednesday. But why would you do this for strangers? Martha asked, overwhelmed. Because that's what people should do for each other, Taylor replied simply. Because everyone deserves health care when injured, and everyone deserves to get to work and medical appointments, and because we're in a position to help. For the next hour, Taylor and Travis coordinated a response that went beyond anyone's expectations. Paramedics determined Harold had a minor concussion requiring observation, but not emergency treatment, and Martha had a sprained wrist needing to be wrapped. Both were advised to follow up with doctors, but didn't require hospitalization. Travis's insurance confirmed their coverage would handle Harold and Martha's vehicle, but repair costs exceeded the car's value, a total loss. So what happens now? Harold asked as the tow truck loaded his damaged Toyota. Now we ensure you have transportation, Taylor said. Travis, what's that rental place you use? Enterprise on Main Street, Travis replied. Because Harold and Martha need a rental while we figure out a longer solution, Taylor said matter-of-factly. We can't afford to rent a car, Martha said gently. You're not paying, Travis said, pulling out his phone. This is part of handling the accident properly. While Travis arranged rental delivery, Taylor sat with the couple on a bench outside a nearby coffee shop. As she listened to their situation, Harold missing teaching, their financial struggles, their dignity despite hardship, something shifted inside her. Harold, Taylor said carefully, what if instead of just handling the immediate car situation, we looked at this as an opportunity? Would you be interested in private tutoring while waiting on the center position? I'd love to, but finding clients usually takes months of networking, Harold said. What if clients were already lined up? Travis asked, rejoining them. Taylor, didn't you mention kids in Jason and Kylie's neighborhood need math help? Taylor smiled, understanding. Exactly, and I know several families needing tutoring support. Harold, would you be interested in immediate work? Harold's face lit up with the first genuine happiness they'd seen since the accident. Are you serious? You could connect me with families? More than that, Taylor said. We could help you start with students who could provide steady income while you pursue other opportunities. As Taylor watched Harold's eyes fill with hope and Martha reach for her husband's hand, she felt something profound settle in her chest. This wasn't an accident. This was what she and Travis were supposed to do today. Not sign legal documents, but serve people who needed them. By evening, they'd arranged not only transportation, but also 3 tutoring prospects for Harold the following week, ensuring Martha could keep her doctor's appointment and Harold could attend his interview. I still can't believe this, Martha said as Travis handed Harold rental keys. This morning we were struggling, and tonight Harold has potential clients lined up. Sometimes difficult situations become opportunities, Taylor replied, meaning it more deeply than Harold and Martha could know. Harold shook Travis's hand with emotion. In 35 years of teaching, I always told students that kindness and character matter more than any subject I could teach. Today, you've been perfect examples of that lesson. You've been good examples yourselves, Travis said. Taking responsibility, worrying about others first, maintaining dignity when things got complicated. That's admirable character. As Taylor and Travis drove home in their damaged but functional Range Rover, they felt satisfaction beyond resolving an inconvenient situation. We completely missed David, Taylor said as they pulled into their driveway. We'll have to reschedule everything, deal with insurance claims and repairs. But, Travis prompted, but this feels like the most important thing we could have done today, Taylor finished. David's vacation means waiting extra weeks for the prenup. But Harold and Martha needed help today, and we were positioned to provide it. Plus, Travis added, Harold's going to be amazing for those kids. We didn't just help him find work, we connected families with someone who genuinely cares about education. They sat quietly, reflecting on how a day starting with legal stress had become something meaningful. You know what I think? Taylor said finally. I think that accident was supposed to happen. Not because anyone deserved to get hurt, but because Harold and Martha needed help today, and we needed to remember what really matters. Travis squeezed her hand. Sometimes the best response to an accident is turning it into an opportunity to care for people. As they walked into their house, both understood that what started as an inconvenient collision had become something invaluable. A reminder that the most meaningful moments happen when we choose to see difficulties as chances to serve others.